Rasulullah, Rasulullah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Ya qalbi yadhkur Ahmada, aynal huda mufnil ida, barran kariman muhsinan, zahral ataya wal jada. Ya qalbi yazkur Ahmada, aynal huda mufnil ida, barran kariman muhsinan, bahral ataya wal jada. Muhammad, Muhammad, Muhammadur Rasulullah, 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 Muhammadur Rasulullah. Ya Rabbi salli ala nabiyyika daiman fi hadhihi dunya wa basin sani. Ya Rabbi salli ala nabiyyika daiman fi hadhihi dunya wa ba'sin sani. Muhammad, Muhammad, Muhammadur Rasulullah, 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 Muhammadur Rasulullah. Salli ala nabiyyina, salli ala Muhammadin, salli ala habibina, salli ala Muhammadin, salli ala nabiyyina, salli ala Muhammadin, salli ala habibina, salli ala Muhammadin. Muhammad, Muhammad, Muhammadur Rasulullah, 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 Muhammadur Rasulullah. Salli ala rahimina, salli ala Muhammadin, salli ala karimina, salli ala Muhammadin, salli ala rahimina, salli ala Muhammadin, salli ala karimina, salli ala Muhammadin. Muhammad, Muhammad, Muhammadur Rasulullah, 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 Muhammadur Rasulullah.
खुदा ने हमको दी है कामरानी, फसुबहानल्लज़ी औफ़ल अमानी।
को खुदा ने सायाए रहमत बना दिया, तुझको खुदा ने सायाए रहमत बना दिया। मसरूर तुझ पे सायाए रहमत खुदा करे, मसरूर तुझ पे सायाए रहमत खुदा करे, रहमत खुदा करे। तुझको खुदा ने सायाए रहमत बना दिया, तुझको खुदा ने सायाए रहमत बना दिया, मसरूर तुझ पे सायाए रहमत खुदा करे, मसरूर तुझ पे सायाए रहमत खुदा करे, रहमत खुदा करे। तुझको खुदा ने सायाए रहमत बना दिया, तुझको खुदा ने सायाए रहमत बना दिया, मसरूर तुझ पे सायाए रहमत खुदा करे, मसरूर तुझ पे सायाए रहमत खुदा करे, रहमत खुदा करे।
No matter which country, no matter which continent, the pull towards the Khalifa is magnetic. Wherever he goes, crowds of people flock towards Huzur. Like birds we flock to the beacon of Khilafat. These scenes are possibly most unique to Canada than they are anywhere else, with Peace Village having been developed right next to Beit al-Islam Mosque. A large neighborhood of approximately 260 homes, Peace Village was developed in 1999 and is home to a large number of families that belong to the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Join us in this special series for the incredible journey of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, in Canada, and let us bring you closer to this North American country. Last week, Huzur, may Allah be his helper, held classes with both Lajna and Khuddam students, where students presented their research whilst Huzur asked questions about their work. At the inaugural National Peace Symposium, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, delivered the keynote address reminding the audience of the increasing possibility of a third world war. Having dinner with the audience, Hazrat Amirul Mu'mineen, may Allah be his helper, met with the guests and dignitaries who attended. Later, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, graced Jamia Ahmadiyya Canada and conducted a class with students from both the Jamia and Boys Hifzul Quran School. Huzur's busy week concluded with an interview for one of Canada's national newspapers, the Globe and Mail. Delivering his third Friday sermon from the Beit al-Islam Mosque, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, spoke about the essence of Waqf-e-Nau and the duties of parents who raise these children.
सिर्फ बच्चों को वक्फ के लिए पेश करने से माँ बाप की जिम्मेदारियाँ ख़त्म नहीं हो जाती, बल्कि पहले से ज़्यादा हो जाती हैं। बेशक एक अहमदी बच्चे की तरबियत वालिदैन पर है, और वालिदैन अपने बच्चे की बेहतरी चाहते हैं, उसकी दुनियावी तालीम भी चाहते हैं, तरबियत भी चाहते हैं, दीनी तालीम भी चाहते हैं अगर वो दीनी रुझान रखने वाले वालिदैन हैं। लेकिन ये भी याद रखना चाहिए कि हर बच्चा जमात की, और ख़ास तौर पर वक्फ-ए-नौ बच्चा जमात की इमानत है उनके पास, जिसकी तरबियत और उसे जमात और मुआशरे का बेहतरीन हिस्सा बनाना वालिदैन का फ़र्ज़ है।
Huzur reminded both Waqf-e-Nau and their parents of the responsibilities in upholding this pledge. He said,
हर मोमिन दीन को दुनिया पर मुकदम करने का अहद करता है। लेकिन वक्फ करने वाले इन मयारों की इंतहाओं को छूने वाले होने चाहिए। बस जब इब्तिदा से माएँ और बाप अपने बच्चों के जहनों में डालेंगे कि तुम वक्फ हो और हमने तुम्हें खालिसतन दीन की खिदमत के लिए वक्फ किया था और यही तुम्हारी ज़िंदगी का मकसद होना चाहिए, और साथ ही दुआएं भी कर रहे होंगे, तो फिर बच्चे इस सोच के साथ परवान चढ़ेंगे कि उन्होंने दीन की खिदमत करनी है। इस सोच के साथ परवान नहीं चढ़ेंगे कि हमने बिजनेसमैन बनना है, हमने खिलाड़ी बनना है, हमने फ़लाँ शोबे में जाना है, हमने फ़लाँ शोबे में जाना है। बल्कि उनकी तरफ से ये सवाल किया जाएगा कि मैं वक्फ़े नौ हूँ, मुझे जमात बताए, मुझे खलीफा वक्त बताए कि मैं किस शोबे में जाऊँ, मुझे अब दुनिया से कोई गरज नहीं।
Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen, may Allah be his helper, emphasized that becoming a waqf was not just to hold the title, rather it is a great responsibility.
किसी वक्फ़े नौ बच्चे की ये सोच नहीं होनी चाहिए कि हमने अगर वक्फ किया तो हम दुनियावी तौर पर किस तरह गुजारा करेंगे, या ये वसवसा दिल में पैदा हो जाए कि हम माँ बाप की माली खिदमत किस तरह करेंगे या दूसरे तौर पर की खिदमत किस तरह करेंगे, जिस्मानी तौर पर। गुज़श्ता दिनों मेरी यहाँ वक्फ़ीन नौ के साथ क्लास थी, तो एक लड़के ने ये सवाल किया कि अगर हम वक्फ़ करके जमात को हम वक्त अपनी खिदमत पेश कर दें तो हम अपने वालिदैन की माली या जिस्मानी या अमूमी खिदमत किस तरह कर सकेंगे। ये सवाल पैदा होना इस बात का इजहार है कि माँ बाप ने बचपन से अपने वाक़फ़ीन नौ बच्चों के दिल में ये बात बिठाई ही नहीं कि हाँ तुम्हें हमने वक्फ कर दिया और अब तुम सिर्फ़ और सिर्फ जमात की इमानत हमारे पास हो, दूसरे बहन भाई हमारी खिदमत कर लेंगे, तुमने सिर्फ अपने आप को खलीफा वक्त के को पेश कर देना है और उसके हुक्मों के मुताबिक चलाना। वक्फ़े नौ मैंने जिस तरह कहा बड़े स्पेशल हैं, लेकिन स्पेशल होने के लिए उनको साबित करना होगा। क्या साबित करना होगा? कि वो खुदा ताला से ताल्लुक़ में दूसरों से बड़े हुए हैं, तब वो स्पेशल कहलाएंगे। उनमें खौफ खुदा दूसरों से ज़्यादा है, तब वो स्पेशल कहलाएंगे। उनकी इबादतों के मायार दूसरों से बहुत बुलंद हैं, तब वो स्पेशल कहलाएंगे। वो फ़र्ज़ नमाज़ों के साथ नवाफिल भी अदा करने वाले हैं, तब वो स्पेशल कहलाएंगे। उनके अमूमी अखलाक का मायार इंतहाई आला दर्जे का है, ये एक निशानी है स्पेशल होने की। उनकी बोल चाल बातचीत में दूसरों के मुकाबले में बहुत फ़र्क है। एक वाज़े पता लगता है कि खालिस तरबियत याफ्ता और दीन को दुनिया पर हर हालत में मुकदम करने वाला शख्स है, तब स्पेशल होंगे।
After Friday prayers, Huzur met with the police officers who offered their services for the community and were present throughout the tour in Toronto. As part of the 50th anniversary of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in Canada, the community has been hosting very special events all across the country. With Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen, may Allah be his helper, currently touring the country, one such event was the Peace Symposium held at York University. It would be the first time Hazrat Khalifa al-Masih V, may Allah be his helper, would be lecturing at a Canadian post-secondary institution. York University is Canada's third largest university. with approximately 53,000 students, 7,000 faculty and staff, and about 295,000 alumni worldwide. A public research university, it is home to over 6,000 students from 178 countries. Prior to Hazrat Amirul Mu'mineen, may Allah be his helper's address, Hazur met with the Chancellor of York University, Greg Sobera, and Ontario's Minister of Research, Innovation and Science, Raza Maridi. The event, a first for Canadian universities, included academics, politicians, the media, as well as guests from different walks of life. Hosted by both Mr. Sobera and Ontario's Minister of Research, Innovation and Science, the Honourable Raza Maridi, they said a few words before Hazur's keynote address. Taking to the podium, Hazrat Amirul Mu'mineen, may Allah be his helper, spoke to the audience with the topic of his lecture being justice in an unjust world.
When it comes to election or nominations, a person should not vote automatically for his ally or party member. Rather, they should consider who is the most qualified and suitable for the task at hand. Thereafter, those who are elected and handed the keys to government or power should exercise their duties with honesty, integrity, and justice. This teaching is the model of democracy that Islam champions. This should be the guiding principle when voting for individuals or for particular policies, rather than merely following party lines or personal relationships.
At an international level, Hazrat Amirul Mu'mineen, may Allah be his helper, said that weaker nations often relied on powerful nations, so it was incumbent upon the latter to fulfill the trusts placed in them.
At the United Nations, it should not be that certain countries wield undue power and influence, or that the permanent members of the Security Council care only for their own interests and utilize their veto power even where it is in conflict with the interests of the majority. Rather, all members of the United Nations should work together and fulfill the covenant of trust upon which the institution was founded, to maintain the peace and security of the world.
Hazur, may Allah be his helper, also said that there had been various foreign policy mistakes in recent years, and that the 2003 Iraq War was an important example where many who initially supported the war now accepted it was a grave mistake. Hazrat Amirul Mu'mineen, may Allah be his helper, explained that one of the consequences of these mistakes was the formation of Daesh.
There is no doubt that such injustices have shattered the foundations of world peace and have enabled terrorist groups such as Daesh to take root and grow. These groups are now not just a threat to the Muslim world, but to all humanity.
Concluding his address, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, reminded the audience that in order to bring peace in the world, we must act with justice.
If we truly want peace in our time, then we must act with justice. We must value equality and fairness. As the Prophet of Islam, peace be upon him, so beautifully stated, we must love for others what we love for ourselves. We must pursue the rights of others with the same zeal and determination that we pursue our own rights. We should broaden our horizon and look at what is right for the world, rather than what is only right for us. These are the means for peace in our age.
Several guests spoke of their sentiments on hearing Huzur's lecture.
Tonight was a gift. When I hear people speak about world peace, when I hear people bring their faith forward as a foundation for what they do for every person in the world, and that united concept that we are all walking towards the same goal of world peace.
I was very impressed by his very comprehensive understanding of the crisis that humanity is going through today, and the presentation of a very peaceful tenet from the scriptures of the Ahmadiyya Islamic community.
He wasn't here to impress no one, but he was here to inform of the injustice that is happening. And as he said very beautifully, deeply from his heart, he prays that may mankind come to that realization.
I was really touched when he said it's a personal grief on him when he look and read about the news and what's happening in the world. Yeah, that was really resonating in my mind.
I mean, you didn't really feel like a room full of people. You felt like you were focused. It was more like a one-on-one conversation. So it felt very personal, very surreal.
On Saturday, October 29th, 2016, Hazrat Amirul Momineen, may Allah be his helper, inaugurated Sarai Ansar, a guest house for Ansarullah located on 21 Bashir Street.
ऊपर 4 बेडरूम है ऊपर जमात के लिए गेस्ट हाउस है जो यहाँ पर जाना के नीचे अंसार में से क्या है जाने के लिए उन्होंने स्टूडेंट्स को यूज़ करना दिया जी जी और नीचे बेसमेंट हमारे लिए लीगल की सिटी को चाहिए वरना यहाँ कोई
For the remainder of the day, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, held mulaqats with the National Lajna Imaila Amla members, as well as the Ansarullah Amla. After Maghrib and Isha prayers, men and women and children of all ages assembled around Huzur's residence, reciting nazms and raising slogans for their beloved Huzur, may Allah be his helper. The streets and sidewalks were packed with devotees, calling out to their Imam. Hundreds of followers gathered outside Hazrat Amirul Momineen, may Allah be his helper's residence, in hopes that Huzur would grace them with his presence.
बंधन तमाम तोड़ के दीवाने आ गए.
Electricity filled the atmosphere, intensifying the moment Hazrat Amirul Momineen, may Allah be his helper, appeared in the doorway of his residence. To the delight of the crowd, Huzur, may Allah be his helper, came out to take a short tour around the streets of Peace Village. An experience like no other, excitement could be felt throughout the crowd as they rushed after Huzur. Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, spent a few moments during this last night walk to speak to a few members of the Jamaat, while taking in the lights and decorations adorning the houses.
तेरे हुजूर अहद ये दोहराने आ गए ऐ शम्मा दे तमाम तोड़ के दीवाने आ गए। देखा था जिसको दूर से चश्मे कलीम ने, देखा था जिसको दूर से चश्मे कलीम ने, उस आग से दिलों को, उस आग से दिलों को ये गरमाने आ गए। उस आग से दिलों को ये गरमाने आ गए। ऐ शम्मा देख फिर तेरे परवाने आ गए। बंधन तमाम तोड़ के दीवाने आ गए। भर दे गुले मुराद से अब इनकी झोलियाँ, भर दे गुले मुराद से अब इनकी झोलियाँ। दामन तेरे हुजूर ये, दामन तेरे हुजूर ये फैलाने आ गए। दामन तेरे हुजूर ये फैलाने आ गए। ऐ शम्मा देख फिर।
It was an unparalleled sight, watching Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen, may Allah be his helper, walk down Bashir Street, turn onto Abdus Salam, while security formed a border, a flood of devotees running alongside to catch a glimpse of their beloved Khalifa. The love for Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, could be felt through the sea of followers as Huzur, may Allah be his helper, returned to his residence for the remainder of the night. Nare could be heard around Peace Village. As the moment of Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen, may Allah be his helper's departure arrived, Huzur walked down Ahmadiyya Avenue one last time. Heading to his car, Huzur, may Allah be his helper, led the large following in silent prayers before sitting in his vehicle.
Khalifa
Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, by the grace of God arrived safely in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan at 5:45 p.m. Hazrat Amirul Momineen, may Allah be his helper, was greeted by the Deputy Premier of Saskatchewan, the Honourable Don Morgan, and the Provincial Minister of Justice, Honourable Gordon Waint. After arriving at his residence, Hazur, may Allah be his helper, led the evening prayers at Prairieland Park, where local community members had gathered to welcome Hazur.
वो देखो मुस्कुराते हुए आ गए
On Hazrat Amirul Momineen, may Allah be his helper's first day in Saskatchewan, Tuesday, November the 1st, Hazur held a press conference with members of the Canadian press and media. Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, was interviewed by Devin Hero from CBC News National, as well as Tia James from the Saskatchewan Star Phoenix, Saskatchewan's largest newspaper. Hazrat Amirul Momineen, may Allah be his helper, also recorded a radio interview for the John Gormley radio show, Saskatoon and Regina's premier talk radio show.
I'm John Gormley. Good to have you here. This is 650 CKOM and 980 CJME. You're welcome, and thank you for checking in wherever you find us across the great province of Saskatchewan on this day. Well, it is for members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community a busy time and a time of great rejoicing, because the head of their church worldwide, their caliph, equivalent to the Pope in the Roman Catholic Church, is visiting Canada and doing a several-day stop in Saskatchewan. A new mosque opening in Regina, a new Lloydminster Mosque opening. He was in Saskatoon yesterday. His name is His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, and he met with the Saskatchewan media. I had an opportunity to sit down and do a one-on-one with His Holiness. Is there a duty or a role for leaders in the faith to combat radicalization?
Yes, of course. This is why I have been spreading this message all across the world. Being a leader of the religious organization, this is my duty to spread the message, not only spread the message, but instill in the minds of the followers of the Ahmadiyya community that they have to combat against radicalization.
The next interview was with Devin Hero from CBC News, who aired that piece the same day on TV.
I've been told many times by people in the Ahmadiyya community that that mosque is open for everyone.
Yes.
Explain that.
Mosques are always open for everyone. You see, when the permission was granted to fight against enemies, it is written in the Holy Quran that permission to fight and retaliate those who attack on you is given to you, because if you did not stop these people now, those infidels who were attacking Muslims, then you would not see any synagogue, church, temple, or any place of worship and the mosque remain on the face of the earth, because they are against the religion. So if this is the teaching, that means all the people, no matter which religion they hold, they believe in, we have to respect each other, and our mosque should be open all the time for everybody. Every person who come to worship one and omnipotent God, that's welcome. Come here and worship. Even when the people of Najran came to see the Prophet of Islam in Medina, and the time of their prayer came, they were very much disturbed, upset that now the time is passing, where should we pray? The Holy Prophet ﷺ felt it and said, if it is your time, then you can pray in my mosque. So this is the true Islam, which was practiced by the Prophet of Islam. That is not that we are actually adopted or molding Islam according to the conditions. No, we only follow what had been done by the Prophet of Islam.
The final one-on-one interview was conducted with Tia James from Saskatoon Star Phoenix, who asked Huzur about the open door policy on Ahmadiyya Jamaat's mosques, with anyone from any faith welcome to come and worship the one creator of all mankind.
If a mosque is house of God and you are God's creation, why should we stop you to enter the mosque?
Now, does that mean it's open to people of all denominations?
Even all religious groups? I was just telling this friend that there was a time during the time of the Holy Prophet of Islam when some Christians people came to see the Holy Prophet of Islam in Medina, and the time of their prayer came, and they were somehow upset, where should we go and offer our prayer, whichever way they wanted. So the Holy Prophet said, okay, you are just sitting in my mosque, you can pray here. So as far as worship is concerned, mosques are open for everybody who worship one and omnipotent God, right? As far as the coming to see the mosque is concerned, they are always open. And even we normally sometime, but it is now very common that we make some adjacent halls with the mosque, which are not the part of the main mosque hall, but adjacent to the mosque. Even in Calgary, the same thing. There, even other religious groups come and hold their functions.
One of the fastest growing sects of Islam has found a home in Saskatchewan. The spiritual leader for Ahmadiyya Muslims is the Caliph, who is followed by millions around the world. Today, he made a stop in Saskatoon. Ryan Kessler reports.
The highest-ranking member of the Ahmadiyya faith can draw thousands to any given visit. The Caliph will be in Regina on Friday for the inauguration of Saskatchewan's newest mosque. The province's largest mosque here in Saskatoon is still under construction. But when it's complete in a few months, Ahmadis will find a suitable home. When it's finished,
I hope the neighbors and the people, non-Muslim people living here in this city would know much better about the message of Ahmadis and the behavior of Ahmadis.
My first question for you is, what do you hope to accomplish during your visit, not only to Canada, but here to Saskatoon as well?
You see, we have a big community here with regards to the total number of Ahmadis living in Canada. Quite a good number of Ahmadis are living here. So normally when I visit any town or city, they're either to open the mosque or to see my people. You see, it's a two-way traffic. People love their spiritual leader and the Khalifa love their people. So this is why I'm here.
On Wednesday, November 2nd, shortly after Zohar and Asr prayers, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, traveled from Saskatoon to Regina, the capital of Saskatchewan and the seat provisional Legislative Assembly. After arriving at Mahmood Mosque, Huzur led the evening prayers before heading to his residence for the night. Join us next week for the next episode highlighting the final week of Huzur's 6-week visit to the North American country. Muhammad.